Allah, Father of the universe.
Allah, Father of the universe.
Father love.
Father love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. My night. And my day. Through his holy prophet. Through Ali. Amen. Please remain standing for the Lord's honor. First I rise, give praise to Allah.
First I rise, giving praise to Allah,
The great God of the universe.
the great God of the universe.
I give honor to the holy prophet, noble true Ali.
I give honor to the holy prophet, noble true Ali.
I give honor to all true and divine prophets of Allah.
I give honor to all true and divine prophets of Allah.
Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. I give honor to Marcus Garvey,
I give honor to Marcus Garvey,
forerunner prophet, noble true Ali.
forerunner prophet, noble true Ali.
I give honor to the American flag,
I give honor to the American flag,
the flag of our birth,
the flag of our birth,
and to the Moorish flag,
and to the Moorish flag,
our decent flag,
our decent flag,
the red flag,
the red flag,
with the 5-pointed green star in the center,
the 5-pointed green star in the center,
the 5 points representing
the 5 points representing
love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
I give honor to our divine charter,
I give honor to our divine charter,
which gives us the divine and legal right
which gives us the divine and legal right
to practice and promote our religion
to practice and promote our religion
unmolested.
unmolested.
I give honor to all past leaders
I give honor to all past leaders
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated,
in succession,
in succession,
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother F. Nelson Bay,
Brother F. Nelson Bay,
and Brother J. Blakely Bay.
and Brother J. Blakely Bay.
I give honor to our former Grand Sheik and moderator,
I give honor to our former Grand Sheik and moderator,
past,
past,
Brother R. Lovell.
Brother Olivia.
I give honor to our present Grand Sheik,
I give honor to our present Grand Sheik,
who is the moderator,
who is the moderator,
Brother R. Jones Bay.
Brother R. Jones Bay.
I give honor to the assistant Grand Sheik
I give honor to the assistant Grand Sheik
of the Moorish Science Temple of America,
of the Moorish Science Temple of America,
Brother P. Chase,
Brother P. Chase,
who is also the Grand Sheik here at Temple 71.
who's also the Grand Sheik here at Temple 71.
I give honor to all national, state, and local officials
I give honor to all national, state, and local officials
in their office and station.
in their office and station.
Give honor to Brother H. Harris Bay,
I give honor to Brother H. Harris Bay,
Grand Governor
Grand Governor
of the District of Columbia,
of the District of Columbia,
and to his past assistant,
and to his past assistant,
Brother T. Gaither.
Brother T. Gaither.
I give honor to all divine ministers,
I give honor to all divine ministers,
sheiks and sheikas,
chiefs and chiefs,
and all members
and all members
of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
of the Moorish Science Temple of
I
America.
give honor to all auxiliaries,
I give honor to all auxiliaries,
to everything that the prophet brought
to everything that the prophet brought
and taught.
and taught.
I give honor to all viewers
I give honor to all viewers
and all of those in attendance.
and all those in attendance.
I give honor to our Sunday school class.
I give honor to our Sunday school class.
Peace.
Peace.
I'll now read from Salvation, Our God, Unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh, and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government. Because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure of love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet Noble Drew Ali through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Noble Drew Ali founder. Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 2905 5th Street, Southeast Washington, D.C., 20032. Thus, we've had a reading from all 7 acts of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. I'll now read from Questionnaire and Additional Laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand Sheiks and governors and heads of all temples, all business. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any members. Let it be finance property or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc. That will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their added meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, she'll be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With thus all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplift in the fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Peace. Thus we had a reading from all 7 acts of questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And now have a reading from the Holy Koran and the Moorish Science Temple of America. Divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God Allah, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen state of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God Allah. I'm going to read from the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, page 53, chapter 43. Holy instructions from the prophet, the insufficiency of knowledge. If there is anything lovely, if there is anything desirable, if there is anything within the reach of man that is worthy of praise, is it not knowledge? And yet, who is he that attaineth it? Peace. Thus we had a reading from the Holy Koran and Moorish Science Temple of America. Our Sunday school is officially open, and I'd like to welcome you all out. And I pray to Allah that we get something that we can take and help to make our way fair upon the earth. And without delay, I call for our Sunday school teacher, instructor, our brother man and friend, Grand Sheik and moderator of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, Brother R. Jones Bay.
Islam. Allah, the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Praise the Lord.
I guess it would be proper for me to say Islam. just take for granted that y'all know I said Islam. Who made it? Who is Allah?
Allah is the Father of the universe.
Can we see him?
No.
Where's the nearest place we can meet him?
In the heart.
Who is Noble Dwyer?
He is Allah's prophet.
What is a prophet?
Prophet is God, manifested in the flesh.
Let me ask you something. What is it? That's a question I've been asking myself. Why do you think that sometimes there's a level of difficulty in imparting a divine message? And you accept it. When we talk about divine things, why is it that, what is it that sometimes may make it difficult to impart it? Yeah, to impart it. Come on, Brother Deep.
Our earth ties.
Our earth ties. Yeah, you picked up on that well. What? Our earth ties. Our earth ties can prevent us from extracting the divineness from it. Why do you think that is? Why can our earth ties, the thing that bound us, the earth, prevent us from extracting the divinity from the message? What?
The murkiness.
The murkiness. The murkiness of what?
Even the conditions that you're trying to come out of is heavier.
Right. The murkiness from the thought pattern that you're holding. Because you create the murkiness. So sometimes it's difficult to pull from the word which is divine, the divinity. And when it's difficult to pull the divinity from the word, what does that do to you? What does that contribute to you being? It does contribute to that, but what does that contribute to you being?
Sluggish.
Earthbound. It contributes to you being what? Earthbound. Meaning, I can only see what you're saying from the earthly point of view. Then, what do? We attempt to explain it based on what we have read that the prophet is imparting to us, but we do it by way of a earthly delivery. And therein lies the conflict. Come on, Mark.
Make you think about, you say, men love the father, not the lead.
That has a lot to do with it. Because that takes place when you fail to do what? Hear his voice. What else? Say it, because I can't hear you.
Submit.
Follow instructions, submit, yes. But also, when you fail to think for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you don't think for yourself, you're easily subjected to the influence of others. Come on, Mom.
It's not more. I'll tell y'all I went to the prophet. I was thinking about when I first joined the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Yeah.
I was thinking that as we go through the questionnaire,
Yes.
and you being instructed to ask questions,
Yes.
I was thinking that answers were so far out.
Yes.
You know, you ask a simple question,
Yes.
but I'm thinking the answer is so far out.
Yes.
But the prophet said, I'm gonna make it so plain that a fool could know.
That's right.
So as I've been here for a while,
Right.
you know, I learned that the answers are plain.
Right.
But what helps me is, you know, the Koran speaks about raise thy thoughts with infinite wisdom.
Right.
You know, so as I raise my thoughts and have an open mind
Mm-hmm.
and a humble heart
Mm-hmm.
to listen to hear what Allah has to say to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of helps me with connecting
Right.
that divinity. So I just wanted to share that part. Like when I first came in, I was looking for some way out answer,
Yeah,
but it's simple.
yeah,
Please.
yeah, yeah. Come on.
This brother Kevin Sunday, you know, you're dealing with a person who hasn't established any principles in his life,
Okay,
so therefore he don't have no rule of his life.
okay,
His thinking is off,
okay,
his actions are off,
okay.
because the prophet say, how should his actions be right who have no rule of his life?
That's what he said.
So he hasn't established his principles.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And you know, Earthman still ties himself to earthly thoughts. To be free from the thinking of the Earthman, you must do what?
Raise your thoughts.
You must raise them. But how can Earthman raise his thoughts when he is in love with the earth and the things that are of it? Because remember, Earthman's feelings come from the things he what? Sees.
Or faith.
Yeah. Because what you see arouses feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're earthbound, you're going to respond in an earthly way to what you see. You know, that's going to put you in a certain mindset. Your thinking will be affected. Especially when you have been introduced to something and you think you got it. See, some of us think we got it. Some of us think we've arrived to a point, I can explain it, so I got it. But that's the illusion. The illusion is painted to make you think you got it. And you know what happens to people when they think they got it? They get loose. They get unrestrained because they think they got it. They can say it, or they can repeat what they've been taught. They think they got it, but that they get loose, and then they lack self-control. That's the illusion. Let me ask you another question. Since we're in the mood to talk, when do you know it's Allah speaking to you as opposed to you speaking to you? You know, because when you hear two voices, one is still, one is not. And the one that's not is the one that we're used to responding to. I got you. Come on, Sister Bria.
I would say from the thoughts that follow. Excuse me. I would say from the thoughts that follow that voice you heard.
That's a good thought. That's a good thought. Come on, my dear.
My observation that I was thinking of when I come in conflict with those two people. I say the first one is the right one, and it never fails. The first thought is the best thought.
Okay. But then keep this in mind. You may have been thinking a certain way, and sometimes what happens is we yield to the way we've been thinking. Because the response that comes from the way we've been thinking is the way we've been thinking. So really, that's most familiar to me. But what about the one that's still that's quiet, that you're not listening to? You know? Because remember, your behavior and your conditions are coming from what's leading you. What thought leads you? Sometimes we think we're doing a certain something, but that's only the way we think. And if the way we think is unfamiliar to what the thought is for real coming from the higher self, sometimes we go with what's most familiar to us, what's most comfortable. Come on, Sister Delia.
It's so the lack of studying self and practicing, right?
Yeah.
cause the conflict, because we're studying self and understanding truth from falsehood.
Yeah,
When that voice come, I don't question it.
yeah,
Then I know, but if that one I got to question it, something's wrong.
yeah.
You know, so we got to study self and understand things, and you know, it's not an easy task.
Right.
But if you keep on practicing and keep doing it, it becomes easy.
You know, being a Muslim is not easy till you learn to do it. We got to learn to be Muslim.
That's right.
We got to learn how to submit. We may say, I'm going to do what Allah says, but for real? Because suppose what Allah is telling us to do one thing, that's not our normal reaction to do. Second thing, that's not what I'm familiar with doing. Because each time Allah can say this is what we should do, your lower self can give you a rationalization why you need to do this, that you're familiar with doing. So it takes what? Practice and what? Courage, no question. And what?
Consistency.
Yeah. But doesn't it also take strength?
Yes.
Takes strength to be a Muslim. Because remember, you're going to be confronted with un-Muslim-like behavior. And you're not always going to be amongst the majority. Many times, you're going to be in the minority. And it takes strength to go the direction that you are attempting to go in when the others around you are going in another direction.
You gotta follow the prophet.
You got to. But it takes strength. You know, it takes strength to follow the prophet. Come on, Mo.
I know what I'm working on. The most important thing to me is my relationship with Allah. If I keep my, you know what I mean? If stuff occurs,
Right,
and I just feel like it's coming between me and Allah,
right.
I got to believe it. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and when you get to know those, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say study yourself, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then it ain't but two things, two from falsehood.
yeah,
So which direction you gonna go with?
Yeah.
You know the truth.
yeah, yeah,
And you know the fuck, but it's up to you. Gave us choice. What direction you want to go in?
yeah,
And we had a discussion Wednesday,
yeah,
right? And we was talking like church about giving.
yeah.
So they were saying, like giving money to people and help them out and stuff. And I said it's more than it's not always giving money, but it's give a kind word. Sometimes people, I'm trying to bring it to keep it.
Yeah, yeah,
Keeping it real.
yeah,
You had asked a question earlier
yeah,
about what keeps us
yeah,
from understanding the message that you're trying to get. You know what I mean? And you have to think high. Like earthbound. That's the earth way of thinking to me. People through charity, but not just giving them money, but helping them, giving them a kind word.
Look, charity is an act of what? Kindness.
Yeah.
Kindness comes from who?
Allah.
So how can you circumcise charity?
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Charity is many ways.
Many ways.
Charity.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Come on, brother. I got you.
I was thinking about when Abraham
Right,
was going to sacrifice his son.
right,
If Allah was to instruct us that,
right,
without limited understanding
right,
and how much submission
right,
that you have or exercise
right,
to hear Allah and obey.
right,
From a common perspective, oh no, I'm not killing my son.
right.
But it wasn't about killing his son. It was just to see how far he would go without it.
Right. But remember, the blessing was he didn't know that.
Right. Right, exactly.
The blessing
And we
was,
don't know.
and we don't know. That's right. We don't know. We don't know. Now the question, of course, are we trusting? Do I trust him to know what I don't know?
Or how much we trust, or how far we trust.
See, have we examined ourselves and determined if we have limits thus far and no further in our submission? I'll do this, but I ain't gonna do that. As far as I can go, I can't go no further than that. Have we examined our limits? Because if you don't know your limit, then you're going to act inappropriately when the opportunity presents itself for you to display your what? Your actions or your what? Your character, your what? Your strength. Come on, Brother D.
That's why I was thinking about the question you asked about how do we know
Yes.
the one from the other.
Yes.
And it made me think about, how those times come to give you a chance to exercise and develop the thought to know or the discernment.
Yeah.
And because there's times where you will submit to what sounds like a semblance.
Yes.
Because we say, well, if it's truth or falsehood, but there might be that time when something may sound true.
Sure.
So those times of exercise, and you find out, what I'm finding out is that, it's not always as clear cut when you first starting off trying to figure out what truth and falsehood is, because sometimes you hear whispering, you think it's still small.
Sure you do. Sure you do, and that's what I'm saying. See, remember, the devil only comes to you, right? But he has a way of coming to you that never changes. It's a noise. He uses the art of noise. What does noise do? It causes you to become what? Distracted. Uncertain. Man, that sounds like you. But what do you stop? What are you not doing? You're not thinking. One of the keys that we want to always make sure we adhere, that we look at. Allah lives not in the noise of tongues. Don't be a noise submitter. Allah is not there. Regardless of how it sounds, Allah is not there. He does not live in noise. He doesn't live there. That's what we have to focus on. Because the noise makers are to do what to you? Distract you. Deceive you. Get you to doubt yourself. You got to listen. Listen. Like we say. Listen. And what do you listen in for? Sound. Still small voice. Come on, brother.
Well, sometimes we have to put our trust, on that Koran. Sometimes everything might not come to us at one time.
No.
We have to put our trust in what the prophet is saying.
No.
And those devils prophets.
Yeah. See, when it may not come to you at the same time, one of the things that you must always be aware of is what is your intent. Don't have to come to you at the same time. If your intent is right. If you have the right intentions, you will be guided to what's right. Then you'll be able to call remembrance to your aid and say, that's what that meant. So that's what that meant. Remember, what is your intent? Is your intent for the worldly man, or is your intent for the spirit man? Who am I listening to, and why am I listening? Why is this attractive to me? Why does this get my attention?
True.
questions you got to ask yourself. Because you're on the path now. By you being on the path, you're going to be tested every inch of your life. Sister McGee.
So that means like paying attention to what it may bring.
Yes, my dear. What can be the outcome of this? What can be the result of this? What will come from this? It says, I read it says, the law states that result is the result comes from the cause. What is causing this? What's behind this? What is prompting this? Then you will know what the result is.
Cause and effect.
There's no question. See, the whole thing is you have to be careful because now by you trying to do this right, the manipulator he becomes more manipulative. See, when you were in the world, you're easy prey, but you're trying to change the way you think now. So you now are you're more subject to attack now than almost when you were there, because when you were there, you already had it. But now I'm trying to think my condition can be what? So I got to attack you now. I cannot let you get the momentum that you will, I can't let you get the momentum that can cause you to challenge what I'm putting in you. See, you're challenging the devil now. At first, there was no need to challenge the devil because all we knew was what the devil was teaching us. But if you start to come out of mental slavery, which created a sinful condition or a sinful way of thinking, now you are able to put up opposition. And he gives you guidance. That's why you got to listen. Come on.
That's why I'm listening to you, brother. That's why reflection.
Yes.
This is the business of
Yes.
man.
Yes.
See, everything you're saying, we have to reflect
Yes.
on ourselves
Yes.
as a Muslim.
Yes.
We have to, because if we don't, we can even in the path of wisdom.
Yes.
So we can't assume we're on the path.
That's right.
So that's why we have to reflect, and I think the pattern, the guide for us is to go into the Koran
Yes.
and ask the prophet
Yes.
to show us
Yes.
whether we're making the right choices or
Yes.
whether we're making the right decisions based on his instructions.
Yes.
You know, but I think, we got to be honest with ourselves.
Yes.
See, all this plays reflection and honesty with ourselves because we know we're shortcomings. We know we're limited. We have our shortcomings.
Yes.
And as we travel, we will be able to, be honest with ourselves, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Because that's the self-examination
Yes.
that Jesus went through in the wilderness.
Yes.
But we do that. We should do that every day of our lives.
Yes.
Self-examine our behaviors, the way we move, the way we speak and things.
Yes.
So I just listened to you when you were saying reflection is very important in this journey.
Yes, it is. It is.
Peace.
Speak. See, you must give the Koran an opportunity to reveal itself to you from within. You may not always have it. The physical book may not always be in your possession, but the book is in you. And if you are striving to do right, and your intent is to do right, the book will open up to you. And you will see how to apply the instruction that's appropriate for what you're presently meeting at that moment. We're talking about trying to get this thing to work for us. But for it to work for us, we must have a desire to work it. So we already know what time it is. No one likes to keep on bringing this to your attention, but sometimes we act like we think that this is going to pass. It ain't going to pass. The worst is yet to come. thing ain't this thing ain't gonna get better. There's nothing ordained to get better. This is the wrath. And if you're not working with you, when it really start to kick in, you're gonna go wherever he tells you to go. And what are you doing then? Putting your trust back in him. And not listening to what the voice is telling you that you're gonna have to do to be saved. I'm not gonna speak to you and tell you, look, be here at this moment. And the Lord's gonna say, look, you better come on over here, because what's going on down there, you don't know none of that. And whatever you have been entertaining consistently in your thinking is where you're going. Come on.
No, I'm at the same token, I'm saying it's a thin line. We're on a thin line. I'm talking about an individual mentally before, because we are up against the power of destruction. We're up against it. So at the same token that the prophet said, take this and save yourself. You're talking about you. You're not talking about nothing else. So the folks that saving yourself, educating yourself through the knowledge and understand that he's giving you. That is the only way. But at the same time, we're on a thin line more. Because we are included. What affects them affects us. And the only thing we can save ourselves is through the education and knowledge that he brought us to save ourselves. Because the world is condemned more. We're on a thin line. Because I am not going to sit here and say what you ain't going to do. It's not the judge to say that, Mo. Because under pressure,
well, that's not the conversation. You're going in another direction right now. That's not the conversation.
Okay.
So don't do that. Let's stick with what the topic is.
Right.
And we'll get back to that another time. I appreciate your cooperation because I know you got a lot in you that you want to just share. But that's cool. We get that. We stay on course. We'll get to that. Come on.
Now I was listening to him about the line.
Yeah.
You know that the line dividing divinity from matter.
Yeah.
You know, you have to know the good from the evil,
yeah.
the spiritual from the carnal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 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 But how do you know?
You have to know the difference.
How do you know the difference? What helps you to know the difference? Because sometimes it's hard for us to believe. You know, one of the statements that the prophet said, something to the effect that I got the ship. You're from Missouri. I got the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You know what I mean? So how do you know? I mean, how do you tell? You've been doing something for so long. How do you know?
One has a beginning and one has an end. If it has a beginning, then an end is not going to last. And one is eternal.
Okay.
It does not change.
Okay. Okay. Come on.
I give all of the we praise the Lord, hearts and hearts and our past grandfather, Brother R. McDowell, he posed a similar question like that one time in Sunday school.
Yeah.
And he was like, how do you tell if you're in your higher self or you're in your lower self?
Yes.
And he was just like you were saying, brothers was thinking way out in the universe and stuff. He was like, boy, it's right. It's in the questionnaire. That's why we go over the questionnaire every Sunday.
Right.
Because, you know, the lower self is hatred, slander, abuse, murder, theft, and everything that harm.
Yeah.
And the higher self is the mother virtues and the harm's life of beauty, justice, mercy, love, and harmony.
Yeah.
So if you know if your thought pattern is hatred, slander, abuse, murder, theft, and everything that harms, you ain't gonna know. Yeah. But if it's of the abundant virtues and the harms of life, you know you ain't no high.
But you know what? If you have accepted being in your room, you're not even aware of that. What you've really done is find the right, or try to find something right in the wrong. To justify what you're doing. I may not even know that the higher self, I may not even know about justice, mercy, love, and right, because I think my hatred, slander, abuse, murder, theft, justice, mercy, love, and right. That's right. And we often fly from the clinic. Yeah. Come on, Mom.
You made a statement like something. You said, we studying and applying ourselves so many words to no problem, no other. It's best to us. You said that we like kind of like, you looking down. You can see now. At first you couldn't see, but you said you can look down. You can see what's going on.
From the mountain to the valley.
Yeah. See, by stuff, applying yourself, practice. You be able to open your eyes up and you be able to see what's, a lot of stuff you can see now that you couldn't see before. We was blind.
Okay.
We had a veil over our eyes. This had opened our eyes up. We can see now, and we can distinct. If you dealing with yourself and like I said, the most important thing in relationship with Allah, you can see things now that you couldn't see before. Okay. So that kind of helps you alleviate yourself from a lot of issues and a lot of problems. Okay. Like you listen to that still small voice, it's like, I don't work. I'm just talking about from the experience that I've had. I don't know, from me coming here, man, you can see things in a better perspective now that you couldn't see. I was blind, man. I was, ignorant. I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know about the higher self, the lower self. Yeah. I didn't know nothing about that, man. Nothing about the problem about coming here and really trying to apply myself, man. And you were saying about we have to be careful who we listen to. You say you listen, they got everything on here now. You kept yourself, you have to be careful what you listen to. I know when I'm feeling out of place, I turn on YouTube and come here and listen to Sunday school or Friday service. That's what I do for me, because I live. I be alone by myself, a lot of times. And when I'm going through something, man, if I don't pick up the Koran, I turn on YouTube and I listen to the service that we done had in here, and that helped me open me up. It helps me, man. This helped me so much. Because I was blind before I came here. And it's, man, this is beautiful. I can't even put it in the words how it helped me. Become better, man. Man. That's what I'm striving to be, man. Just become better, man. I know my condition is better. But it's my way of thinking. I got to change my way of thinking, man. If I don't change my way of thinking, then I'm going to keep finding myself and that's it. I just thank God for allowing me to be here, man. That's good. Be a part of this. I'm home. The search for this all my life. I'm home, man.
That's good.
That's a similar sentiment for all of us who have come into the realization of what He's done for us.
Yes.
You're saying that exact same way for me too.
Yes.
Yeah. Seeing and actually understanding what this is really doing for us. I mean, really uplifting us. Really changing the way we think so that we can change the conditions that we create.
That's right.
Got your ears, brother.
Yes, sir. And just listening to what you're saying, Brother Lee, that's why you make the sacrifice. You make the sacrifice to come on Sundays and on Fridays to continue to get the nourishment you need. Because in your journey, things come to you, and you can only equate it to what the prophet has told you.
Yes.
And you see, and he allow you to see things inwardly, to be able to see things that you probably wouldn't see. And the only thing you can look at is say, praise the Lord, we need to see that. So you want more. You come to get more because it has tremendously helped you. And it's not it's not the physical aspect of it, it's the mental aspect of it that has made you realize that this works for you. Yeah. And that's why you make the sacrifice. And that's what it's all about. Because it says your call is salvation. The more you want to get better, the more you'll make the sacrifice to get better. And you'll do what necessary you have to do. And so praise, I can hear what the brother had, I sympathize because I understand where you're coming from because it tremendously helped me too. In many ways.
Come on, here.
It's on all. Praise be to our honor to His holy prophet, God. Just to add to the conversation briefly, one of the things that really struck me with conversation is it brings you to the point of being humble.
Yeah.
See, we can have these lessons and we can hear everything that brother's saying, but none of us knew before we came here. But there's a humility that goes with it that will give you the opportunity to receive and to accept these teachings.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people hear the words, they think that after they read them a few times and memorize it to some degree, they almost the ones that book this out.
Yeah.
You know, but that's vanity.
Yeah.
So humility is the thing that lets you know that it's Allah that is helping you and guiding you and saving you. And so by obeying His holy prophet, we can have success, but at the same time you stay humble enough because you know you gotta continue to follow those instructions.
Yeah.
It's not a one-time thing. You gotta keep going, and you're gonna have some blockage in the way. You're gonna have some footsteps, and you're gonna have a whole lot of things that are gonna come in front of you to see if you actually are being humble enough to know that you can't do this by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need help.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Come on back.
It makes me think of when you come in the movement. Sometimes we think it's instant.
Yeah.
When you come in and get instructions, it's instant. You got it.
Yeah.
But we get confronted with different situations. We try to recall, but we fail.
Yeah.
But that only brings us to being alert.
Yeah.
You know, for the next event that might come,
Yeah.
and that might help us study more.
Yeah.
And be alert.
Yeah.
Of different events.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. Come on, baby. Come on.
I was thinking about in the Koran where it speaks about weak and ignorant as the art of man, humble as the art to be.
Yeah.
You know, I recognize that I'm weak.
Yeah.
And I try my best, but in trying, you see your shortcomings and your failures.
Yeah.
So I recognize my weakness.
Yeah.
And I have to trust in Allah and hold on to His hand to help me when I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Ignorant means not to know.
Yeah.
And I know that it's a lot I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, Allah has blessed me with a few things, but the little bit that He's blessed me with ain't nothing.
Don't say
that. Compared to the scheme of things.
Yeah.
You know, still much wisdom to be learned.
Yeah.
So I don't ever try to think I got it.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to learn every day and try to be the best I can be every day. But I'm just thinking about the weak and ignorant.
Yeah.
And it puts me in the position to be humble.
Yeah.
Like Brother Ramsey said, you know, we have to be humble.
Yeah.
Trust in Allah, hold on to Allah.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it on our own.
That's right. That's right. Hey, look, the reason that I said to you that don't say it ain't nothing, that's because remember what nothing is. It got to be something.
Yeah. It is.
Because it came from something.
Okay.
So, you know, we in the past, you know, we have picked up a certain way of expressing ourselves.
Right.
Yeah. But we got to be more conscious because see, those words, they are still what they are.
Right. Exactly.
Come on here.
And just to add that one point to what you're saying, and we're not hopping on.
No.
What we're trying to do is help everybody. Right now, in this moment, and I need everybody to hear this. We don't know what Allah has in store for any of us, but we do know this. We in His holy place, and with what He's given us to today, it'll be enough for you to keep going and be safe. So you on that path, and we have enough. We've learned enough to this point to move in the right direction. And we don't know why He sent us back here in this lifetime. You know that sometimes we wonder why certain people may leave the flesh at certain times, whether it be babies, children, or whoever. That might have been all they needed to come back here for at that time. So we don't know how much we need to do, but we take what we get and we be grateful. I just want to share that.
That's good. That's good. That's good. What we're doing is making sure that Allah knows and we acknowledge his existence in us. And what we're asking is that we pray that he will help us so that we can be more attentive when he speaks.
That's right.
So we can hear him when he speaks.
That's right.
That's what we're trying to do. Because we have ignored him long enough.
There you go.
We're trying to reestablish contact
That's right.
with the source of our existence. Come on, man.
And trust
Yes.
the voice.
Yes. Yes.
Fight our own desires.
That's right.
You know, because sometimes the voice comes.
Yes.
We have an urging to do something the way we want to do it.
Yes.
But the voice say don't go around the corner.
Yes.
But sometimes we ignore the voice.
Yes.
So when we hear that still small voice, it be proceed with caution.
Yes.
But we got to get used to that.
Yes. We do.
Because I've been there and heard the church certain things, but they the opposite.
Yeah.
And look up and say, wow.
Yeah.
If I would have,
Yeah.
if I'd have just paid attention to what was told to me,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in these bushes right now.
That's right.
And after a while, you get tired of being in the bushes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's experiences
Yeah.
that like that will help us get more comfortable and trusted.
Yes. Yes. That's right. That's right. Okay, let's go to the Holy Koran of the Morning Sign.
Where they going to question in here, bro?
Yeah, this thing. We gotta go through it.
Okay, great.
Didn't I go through that earlier? I went through the first 5, didn't I?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. So we're gonna stop at the first 5.
Praise God.
Here proceed. Yeah, let's go to the Holy Koran. Now, review quickly before we go into 7. We are leaving 6. The experiences that number 6 have afforded us to be a witness to. We're going to leave number 6 and go into number 7. But before we go into number 7, let us revisit number 6. What's the title of number 6? Say it again. That's good. I really thought I was going to get y'all that. I really did. Okay. What are some of the events that are of note or was noteworthy enough to you that you can recall it that took place in number 6? Something that made an impression on you that was discussed in chapter number 6. A name, an event, a symbol, whatever the case may be. You have to have had to hold something from number 6 so that we can hold that thought and go into number 7.
A young prince that was curious to learn, and he recognized wisdom out of a young man, a young boy.
Okay. But did we see in that way he said he was a young prince?
No.
Okay. All right. You know, it'd be nice to take that for granted, but we don't know that for sure.
I always put prince being
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Princes are, usually.
like you say, wrong words, but
Yeah.
usually a prince is a young,
Yeah.
But one way or the other, he was a wealthy man,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Who was out for knowledge,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
he recognized knowledge when he heard it
Okay.
and stuff, and he seeked to get more of it,
Okay.
and was willing to help this young knowledge to go even further.
Okay. I didn't hear it. Come on, sis.
Ravana had a train to go to find Jesus.
Okay. All right. What was the character of Ravana? He was what?
Just.
He was just. That's good. I'll pick that up real quick. That's good. He was just. And he was a man of what?
Wealth.
And if he was just, he was a man of wealth. That means Allah has done what to him? He has did what? What is the verse in the Koran that the prophet talks about when he tells about the person who has been given wealth?
Hear your flavor.
Give him the
Hear your flavor.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's real. Okay. Now look, one of the things, what was one of the we assume to be a difficult decision to be made by Jesus' parents.
To let him go.
To let him go where?
To the east.
To the east.
With Ravana.
That's right.
To go into the sacred place, the sacred temple to be taught.
That's right. Because Ravana said he wanted to be the what of the child?
Patriarch.
The patriot.
The patriot.
Yeah, provide for him.
Yes.
Okay. All right, come on.
Going what you just said, he found the object of his search.
Yes, he did.
Engaged in the building dwellings for the sons of men.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
What he was searching for, he found it.
He found it. That's right. You're right, Sister Kelly. He did. He found what he was looking for. And then he made inquiry to who? Who? Come on. No, not the Brahmin priest. Chief Hillel. Okay. And Chief Hillel gave him some background information. What background information did he give him?
We call this the day star.
That's what I said. We call this the day star from on high. That's
When
right.
he was born.
How the experiences about when he was born.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, more.
The child who prophesied to come.
I say it again.
The child who prophesied to come.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Good. Okay. That's good. Now we go to let's go to 7.
That's my one.
Yeah.
There's 2 words that you told us to look up, what you take note of.
Okay.
And one was the Vedas
Yeah.
and the Manic Law.
Yeah. Yeah. Give it to me.
The
I sure
Vedas,
did. Yes.
from the Vedas is to know, is knowledge and wisdom.
Okay.
And the Manic Law, moral insanity.
That's manic. That's right. That's right.
Moral insanity.
That's right.
You're dealing with people who suffer from manic depression, bipolar disorder,
Disorders and things like that.
and things like that.
Yeah. Talk about us.
Yeah,
We suffer from a lot of those things.
yeah.
So there's a law
Mhm.
that
Cover that.
the master,
Mental
know how to
disorder.
utilize to help you come out of those states.
So more, that's called the manic law.
It's called the manic law.
Right.
It helps with mania. Mania pertains to the mind.
And that's what we're going to.
That's what we're going through.
That's
That's what this is about. Oh, we employ the manic law in here.
That's why he's listening. He's listening for us to pay attention.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Come on, boss.
So you know, brother, that's interesting because when you said that, just to think about it, the truth don't change.
No, no.
And when you think about that Koran,
Yeah,
and you talk about how the prophet put it all together
yeah.
to help us, I can hear that. I see it. I can see it. See, we could be functioning under the gnosis. We are functioning under the gnosis because our problem is the mental problem.
Yeah.
You know, from the things we experience.
Yeah.
So easily in this era of time to help us get better, those same concepts are being used on us today.
Yeah.
Now it may not be just called, it's called the prophet's teaching,
Yeah.
but the truth doesn't change.
Yeah.
You know, I just, when you said that,
Yeah.
I never looked at it that way.
Yeah. 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 Praise God. Praise God. Okay, we're at chapter 7. The friendship of Jesus and Lamar. Jesus explains to Lamar the meaning of truth. What truth means. Now look now you remember, another name for Allah is truth. Now you're going to explain, look who's going to explain the meaning of truth. You know how far advanced in your thinking that you have to be able to explain the meaning of something that cannot be circumscribed? something that cannot be circumscribed. Allah cannot be circumscribed. Allah is truth. Truth is all is Allah. So now he is a master who has come to earth, a thought of Allah, that's going to give you the meaning of truth.
And at the age of 12.
Yeah. But now then here's another thing. Was he 12 at this point?
At this point.
See, we're assuming that he was still 12 years old. But we don't know how long it took to get from one point to another. He could be older now. We do know he was 12 when Ravana met him. Now we can stick with that. That we can support. Anything else is speculation. And so we have to be careful not to speculate because we don't want to say something that's not true. Come on.
Now, it would be safe to say that Martin did his explanation of truth. His explanation.
Who? Jesus' explanation?
Yes, yeah. Lamar's explanation of truth to Jesus.
Well, see, Lamar's asked the question. He didn't. He was seeking. What is your thought about this? What is the meaning of this? He may have had his own ideas, but they weren't shared at that time. He wanted to hear what Jesus had to say. No question. And also, let me see where I'm at with it. Because after all, he's already recognized Jesus as being a master.
Yes, he is. Yes. No.
I already accept the fact you're a master.
Yeah, so why not? Yeah,
Let me hear what the master had to say. Okay. Come on here.
Islam. And in that chapter, we got to remember too, they had been studying together.
Yes. That's right.
So they had some conversation.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And remember, come on, man.
I'm just thinking, Brother Lee, something that always jumped out to me about that chapter is that they had a friendship.
That's the key.
Yeah. See, and it made me say, it's very important that word friendship.
Yes.
Before they even got into the conversation.
Yes.
They had a friendship.
Yes.
And it made me say, well, this friendship, we might need to go back and evaluate.
Yeah.
Because he didn't put that there for just to be putting it there.
Right.
But they had a friendship.
Right. Right. See, when you talk about things that cannot be seen, when you talk about things that are of a higher evolving,
yes,
it's easy to talk to a friend.
Right.
Because you trust exchanging.
Yes, yes.
Because some of this stuff that you're seeing, you're a little reluctant to talk. Man might think I'm crazy.
Right.
But a friend, I'm open. I can talk to you about it.
Right.
See, we can discuss it. I don't have to be reluctant to say certain things to a friend because that's my friend.
And I can speak
We got to understand it.
Yeah, and I can speak freely.
I can speak freely. And they in turn can speak freely.
And they won't be condemned if I say something.
No. And it will not be an argument.
Yes.
So you take all those things in consideration when you talk about sharing with a friend.
as opposed to a stranger.
It's no question.
Yeah.
It's no question. You don't tell a stranger what you would tell a friend. Prefer not a stranger before your own. So we're talking about Lamar, the friend of Jesus. Among the priests of Jagannath was one who loved the Jewish poor. Lamar's promise was the name by which the priest was known. So where there's friendship, there's what? Love. The prophet starts out the chapter by saying the friendship. And then he comes and tells you he loved the Jewish boy. So that is a component of friendship. Love. It goes on to say, one day as Jesus and Lamar walked alone in Plaza Jagannath, Lamar said, my Jewish master, what is truth? I mean, they're walking alone in the plaza. And this is the type of conversation that is put forth. Come on.
Islam, also, I'm looking at how he addressed him.
Yes.
My Jewish
My
master.
Jewish master, yes. That's good. The acknowledgement and respect
Yes.
of a friend. That's how friends communicate. Acknowledgement and respect. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about, you said one of the components of the friendship
Yes.
is love.
It's love.
And I was thinking also respect.
Yes.
He respected them enough to ask them
Yes. Yes.
to communicate.
Yes.
And without harm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And trust.
And trust, yeah.
Yeah, just now, because there's several components of a friendship.
I can't hear you.
I say it's several components of a friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like love and respect is components.
That's right, but there's more components too.
Trust.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It says, and Jesus said, truth is the only thing that changes not.
Allah.
Allah's truth.
He changes not.
He changes not. And this is what response in the conversation that was being held. Now look, and when he said that, as we read further, we'll see that Lamar didn't refute it. He listened. Because each time Jesus spoke to Lamar about this particular subject, another subject came into play that was relatable to what he initially started talking about, which is truth. So he said, and Jesus said, truth is the only thing that changes not. In all the world, there are two things. The one, remember, the one is truth. The other is falsehood. What makes the other the other? It changes, yes. And what else? What else about the other from the one?
Reverse.
It's reverse. That's good. What else about the other from the one? It passes away. What else? It's a reflection. The other is a reflection of the one. Making the other what? Falsehood. So in the world, in all the world, truth and falsehood exist. And falsehood is a reflection of the truth. Yet, it is manifest, but look, yet we have accepted the other as opposed to the one. So in accepting the other, be conscious of the fact and bear witness to the conditions that are created that comes from the other. We're living in the other. And the result of the other is the conditions that we are presently experiencing. We're living in the reverse. We're living in the reflection.
So you caught up on what you see.
Yeah.
You know, because it says that the things we see with the human eyes are only reflection.
That's right. Just appearing. That's right.
Yeah, just appearing while the ether vibrates so and so. When conditions change, they pass away.
They disappear. They disappear. So meaning, the manifestations that we have a tendency to give our lives for, they're going to change. Going to come a time when there'll be no more. So we have to be careful not to submit to the illusion.
That's right.
Well, it's just like this black issue that we're having. Whenever it's going to change or whenever it will change, it will not change, probably whatever. But still, we came out the confidence of that state of mind into the truth. So that's a blessing right there. you know, and to me it is.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think when we can acknowledge coming out of the world, but you know, coming out of the illusion is come out of the world. You know, to set aside the world, you have to set aside the illusion. So you can't live in an illusion and be in the higher world too at the same time. You're going to have to make a choice. The mercy of Allah is giving us an opportunity to make the choice. See, because we ain't going to do but one or the other. We're either going to choose to be in the world, or we're going to choose to be in the in what is real. The illusion or the real. That's what we're going to have to choose. To live in the real, you got to make some choices.
The question was, what is truth?
Yeah.
Jesus said truth is the only thing that changes not.
That's right.
Allah is truth.
That's right.
So it makes it easy for me to choose Allah and try to hold on to Allah, because we spoke about the components of the friendship, and one of them was trust.
Right.
I can trust Allah not to switch up on.
Right.
So it's easier for me to choose Allah and try to do my best to stay there, opposed to choosing the world, which knows is an illusion.
Yeah. But keep in mind, you know, you're blessed if it's easy for you. But what's easy for you is sometimes very difficult for others.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very difficult.
Yeah. The struggle is there though.
Yeah.
It's still a struggle.
Yeah, so got to be. Come on, yeah.
It's and I'm glad you said that. And I hear Brother Shingle in this moment.
Yeah.
But we still going through the ways of life. We're passing through the ways of life, and we don't know. He says this to us. A soldier never knows his strength until he meets his fall. So and one of the things that we're doing right here, right now, is building up strength. That's what makes it more so for us to accept and to build his trust and accept his trust more than it does than when we, are not strong enough. Because we're gonna have moments.
Yeah.
And in those moments, we don't know what we might do. Even though we might say it right now, I'm with him, but we don't know how we're going to be challenged. But the good thing is that we do have with us right now, in studying and practicing these teachings, is that we can begin to build up strength.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good point. When especially when you think about it, like when you said that, it made me think about this. Now here was Peter, who was a disciple of Jesus.
Yes.
And Jesus put a lot of trust in Peter.
Right.
And Peter was very adamant in his support of Jesus. Yet the moment came when he denied Jesus.
Exactly.
So we don't know until we know.
Exactly. But even if I'm going to add this more, Jesus didn't know until he knew.
That's right.
Because he went into the wilderness and
he asked. That's right. And he
asked himself, do I have the strength?
That's right. That's right.
He ain't just act like, I know I have right there.
That's right.
I know what I've been prepared for in my life.
That's right.
But in this moment, do I have the strength?
When he went to Gethsemane.
Yes.
And he fought with himself.
Yes.
He asked Allah, was there any other way I could do this without doing that?
Exactly.
So yes, when you get,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Mo.
No, that's why he's an example for us.
Yeah. The path.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think your faith is the key, Mo. Your faith is, your faith is strong, you'll be all right.
Yeah. I hear you. Come on, Mo.
I think one of the things that come to mind is that's why being humble allows us to give ourselves a chance to build up the strength.
Yeah.
Because being humble will allow us to keep not put ourselves in a position to think we're ready when we're not.
Yeah.
Being humble will allow us to be open to receive what we receive, so that we can deal with the things that we're challenged with.
Yeah.
And even when we, when you was talking about being able to make the choice,
Yeah.
when he started revealing things to you, there's a discipline that comes with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be willing to accept the reality of what you didn't see compared to what you do see. And sometimes that reality can be painful.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why sometimes people just want to stay where they at,
Yeah.
because they don't want to deal with the pain of that reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah. Well, look what the devil will do, and he'll make that pain appear to be overwhelming.
Yes.
Make you say, "I ain't trying to go through that."
Come on, man.
Yeah. But when you arrive at her, that toil that took you to get there
Yes.
shall be to you for pleasure,
Praise the Lord.
because it was the thought of affliction that won't have deep. Affliction is that.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Come on.
That's what Prophet tells us, as man unfold, as God unfold.
That's right. That's right.
So if your God unfold, you don't know how you're gonna be the next moment.
Yeah.
You're thinking you're gonna be one way,
Yeah.
but your position will be another way.
Yeah.
So when you're confronted with that, that's when the struggle comes.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah. Come on.
It's a choice of believing the unseen and the seen. You know, the brother say it's faith.
Yeah.
See, we walk by faith and not by sight.
Right.
We can't get caught up on what we see.
Right.
We believe in the unseen because, like our question there after, can we see him?
Right.
No.
Right.
We can't see Allah,
Right.
but we believe that he is.
Right.
And that he exists, and you know, that's what we supposed to keep our eye on,
Yeah.
the unseen,
Yeah.
and don't get caught up on what we see.
Right.
And that causes the reflection.
Right. Right. See, what we're learning to do is to learn to rely on the unseen.
Unseen. Mm-hmm.
Because we've often, and we do it now, we rely on the seen.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to learn to rely on the unseen. Because the seen
Mm-hmm.
is a reflection.
Mm-hmm.
It's manifested.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, it's false.
Yes. And that was one of the tests that the Lord self gave Jesus. Look upon the world.
That's what he said.
Look.
Behold, his pleasures and his wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Come on.
Now to be honest, because I had a little incident early in the day, and it's when you start talking about falsehood, like you saying, that's something that can be seen. But then you also got, it says that falsehood that was seems to be.
Yep.
We know lower self is richer promises, poor blessings, peace. It offers pleasure, joy, satisfying gain.
Yeah.
It gives unrest, misery, and death.
Yeah.
And sometimes what I'm learning is like being aware of what seems good and what seems pleasurable.
Yeah.
Because some things might seem like it's coming from Allah, but that's how tricky the lower self is.
Yeah.
It can give you something that's pleasurable. It can give you something that seems like you're in a state of joy, but it's not.
Right.
So, and sometimes we get so in love with that anguish and so in love with that feeling, you fall in love with the falsehood that it seems to be, something that you think that brings you pleasure.
Yeah.
So, you might feel good when you get angry.
Yeah.
And that's really the total opposite. But, like some people call it vent.
Yeah.
And it feel good to vent.
Yeah.
But really, you in your lower self.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing about, what I'm learning, especially when it comes to this chapter, knowing the difference between the truth and the falsehood, and what seems to be the truth.
Yeah. Well, see, one, venting is cool. As long as you do it according to principles.
Exactly.
See, as long as you put your principles in place, you can always govern, and you're governed by your principles. So you don't step out of line. See, that's why when you say establish unto yourself principles of action, that's a very important piece.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you won't overstep your boundary. See, without principles, you'll go beyond your boundary. You'll go in places that you have no business going. And say things you have no business saying. And think that you understand things that you don't understand. Come on, Mo.
No, and also I think you gotta be careful who you vent to.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because certain people, like your brother or your sister, your loved one, you can vent to them, but the person you don't know or don't trust, you know, you really can't vent to them because they may receive that the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah. But remember, you can vent to a friend. According to what he's telling us a friend is.
It's not.
You can vent to a friend. And sometimes your earthly brother or your earthly friend, sister, you might not be friends. You may be related, but that don't necessarily mean you're friends. So certain things you can't say, or you should not say to certain people.
It's not.
Come on, Mom.
Your intent.
Yeah, Mom.
Your intent on it.
Yeah.
What's your purpose?
Yes.
Is it trying to bring about a reason,
Yes.
a rational? Is it trying to tear someone down?
Yeah.
Is it trying to help them?
Yeah.
Is it trying to correct certain things in an area that needs to be corrected? To your intent. Because sometimes we can vent and we don't know that vibration gets set off someone else's death. If our intent ain't right.
Right.
And they can feel that.
Yeah.
And that's one time we look at them and they say, why they swelling up on you?
Yeah.
Well, look at the vibration you give it.
Yeah.
You don't realize it, but the vibration you give it set theirs on. So I think your intent plays a major part.
Yeah. Good. Okay, we gotta stop there. All right. Peace.
Islam. I'd like to thank our Grand Chief and moderator, our brother man and friend brother R. Jones Bay, for a very stimulating Sunday school. And thank you all for your participation. And at this time, I call for the Grand Governor of the District of Columbia, Brother H.R. Bay, to read our divine warning. And while the divine warning is being read, please give it your attention and please all move.
Islam also. First, I give praise to Allah and honor to Prophet Noble Ali. I give honor to each and every one of you, and I give honor to everything Prophet Noble Ali has brought for the uplift and the fall of humanity. Prophet warns all models, governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the street. We offer peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at European and causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We offer love, truth, peace, and freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn to their God, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where Allah prophet found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace.
Peace. Islam. I'd like to thank our granddaughter, Strawberry Church, for the reading about divine warning. That ends our Sunday school.
Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen.